Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth with Scott Leroy Marketing. Welcome to Lead Generate with Command Facebook Ads 101 Advertise Listings. Today is November 15th, so if you are viewing the recording, some of the features may have changed. Today, I'm starting out in Mozilla Firefox, but you can also use campaigns really well with Google Chrome, especially incognito, and of course, private within Firefox. So I'm starting out at agent.kw.com. It's the website for Command. Again, that's agent.kw.com. Once you're there, you'll see this screen. Simply enter your username, which is generally something like first initial, last name, maybe a number. It does not have to be capitalized, though. Capitalization's not required here. Then you'll enter your password. Of course, capitalization is required here. Then click sign in. All right, so now that we're logged into Command, we're going to start by checking our settings. So we're going to go to the top right of the screen and click our name. Then click Settings. This is going to take us right to the connected apps or applications that are connected to Command. Now, I will say, first and foremost, you must already have a business page, a Facebook business page already created. So for more information on that, check out our YouTube channel for tip videos on how to create a business page if you don't already have one. The next step is to make sure everything's connected properly before we begin. Now, once you're on this page, you'll see two options for Facebook, both post scheduling and ads manager. Today, we're going to be using the ads manager connection, but while we're here, you can go ahead and connect post scheduling as well. The difference being ads manager is going to create a sponsored ad, which I'll go ahead and show you that now. This is what a sponsored ad looks like. You'll see these generally in your news feed while you're scrolling through Facebook, mixed in with all of your friends' posts and pictures. But that's what we'll be creating today. Now, paid ads are exactly what they sound like. They're paid. So you do have to pay money to create sponsored ads on Facebook, whereas post scheduling is just simply creating a post and it'll go on your business page's timeline. So news feed for paid ads, timeline for post scheduling. And creating these posts and scheduling them on your business page is free. So paid version, paid ads, free post scheduling. The second thing I want to mention is you, of course, should have that business page created. You also need to be an admin on that account. And that's where I'll bring up the wonderful KW support article that runs you through 8 different steps of setting up your Facebook and connecting it to Command. So like I've already mentioned, step 1 is to make sure you have a business page created. Part 2 of that, which is generally by default, but you want to verify that this is set up, is the two-factor verification or authentication. Sometimes you may want to turn that off because it is super annoying to always get a code or tap yes to log into your account. Unfortunately, having that off disrupts that connection with command. So you do want to leave that turned on. Third step, I'll mention the admin role on your business page. And here is the link to this article since there are already questions about it. It's just on answers.kw.com. And the paid ads go to the audience you set, which I'll show you later, not necessarily your friends. And I'll explain that later. Fourth step is to make sure your Facebook page is connected to a Facebook Business Manager account. This is fairly new, so you want to make sure you can click these links here to see how to create that account. Number 5 is going to make sure that you have read and accepted the Facebook lead ad terms. I'll mention where this pops up later, but if you would like to go ahead and click here to view the terms and accept ahead of time, that'll only save you time later. And now we're on step 6, making sure you're connected to command. So popping back over there to show you, you'll see, like I mentioned, 2 different Facebook options. We're going to be in the Facebook Ads Manager. And you'll see the status on mine is already connected. But if yours shows not connected, like my Twitter post scheduling down here, then you want to click the blue Connect account next to the Facebook Ads Manager. There will be a few pop-ups that it's going to walk you through to connect that Facebook account, including selecting what pages you want connected. And it's going to ask you because you can connect all of your pages that you have created and manage. So if you have not only your real estate page, but also any other side businesses like Scentsy, insurance, lawn mowing, any pages that you have created, you can connect to command. So it's going to ask you which ones you want command to have access to. And that's just to post these paid ads. Now you will also see that your account name, so your name, your personal name, your legal name, will be shown here. But that does not mean that command will or even has access to post to your personal account, like your page that your friends see, your timeline. How you connect an account to command is by the account, not by the page. So you're going to see your account here, which is great. It's by design. And then you can click manage to see what pages are connected to command after the fact. Now, this pop-up has been updated recently. So if you have been having problems with paid ads, excuse me, in the past, last few weeks or so, make sure you come into the settings and look at this box, and found that by just clicking manage, and drop down this account and check off these pages that you want connected. With that recent update, it kind of refreshed and reset the connections on Facebook pages. So you want to come in and make sure that yours is checked here. If you do make any changes, click done. If not, click cancel. And once yours says connected, You may still see that your connected apps are in a different order. That's okay. I may have different connections than you, so the order of the connections may not be the same. I will also mention at this time, you won't be able to connect your Instagram, whether personal or business, to command. That's not an option to connect to. But if your Instagram is connected to your Facebook, then you will be able to post to Instagram as well. Although won't be covering that today since this is simply Facebook Ads 101. But just know that with the Facebook and Instagram connection, you can post to Instagram, but you won't find it on this page. So now that we're all set up, I'm going to quickly go back to the end of this article, this success article. The last step is to complete your marketing profile. So you want to make sure all of that information is filled in and up to date. You can find that under Connect Settings, Marketing Profile. Again, you'll just want to go through, make sure all of this information is up to date, how you want it to be shown. And of course, if you make any changes, click Save there at the bottom. So let me share this article one more time in the chat in case anyone's come on since and wants to access that. So now once we have our Facebook created, all of the details confirmed, connected to command, we'll head to campaigns. Campaigns is the 7th icon down in the applet list. It's a little megaphone icon. When in doubt, you can click the red square with the white KW to expand the name of the applets. Once you find campaigns, click to open. You'll first be brought to the dashboard, the first tab here. Now your screen may look a little different than mine. If you have run paid ads or any campaigns, you'll see all of the metrics pop up here. You can connect more accounts, see your connected channels and accounts here, see some quick posts, tips and training down at the bottom. You'll see paid ads, which is where we're going to be focusing today. Emails, direct mail, AKA postcards. And here's that social post, the post scheduling connection that's free that I've already mentioned. We'll use this tab. So while on the dashboard, we're going to check one more thing, and that's payments. Payments is in the top right corner. It's gray text right next to the blue button. And clicking that, you want to make sure you have a payment method added prior to creating a campaign. So if yours is looking like mine, you want to click this blue add payment method on this left side in the middle of the page. Fill in all of the red asterisk required information and click add card. You'll then see that card pop up on this line here, showing that you do have a card on file. So once you have that added, we can now click create campaign. Again, we're going to be doing social ads, paid ads, sponsored ads, whatever you want to call them. So we're going to choose this top left tile here. We're going to enter a campaign name. Now, this is only visible by you, so name it whatever you would like. I will suggest taking on some sort of naming convention. Like, since today's class is advertise listing, I'm just going to name it JL for just listed. And then I'm going to put in the address. And then I'm also going to put what channel this campaign is going to run on. Again, this is a Facebook Ads 101 class, so I'm going to run it on Facebook. This does have a character limit of 80, so keep your title short and sweet. And this can also be changed later. Next, choose your goal. So over the next 8 months, I'll be going over different goals here. So this first one, I'm going to do advertise listing. You can choose whatever goal you wish, whatever closely matches your content. And if you would like to go ahead and see previously recorded classes that go over the different goals, we do have those already recorded and uploaded. But this is also another thing that can be changed later. So just for your first ad, your test one, if you do want to change it later, you can. Next, you'll choose where will your campaign run. And we're going to choose Facebook. Again, that's what the class is about. But here's where you can also check off Instagram and or Twitter. There will be a recording, yes. It'll be posted on our website, slmtraining.com, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ScottLeroy later on today. So once you have these 3 fields chosen, you'll click Create Campaign. Now, I highly suggest just letting this preview and crop image box process as it needs to. This is just making sure that your Market Center or DBA logo is the proper size and file type. If you are seeing that this is getting stuck though, like this is taking too long for me, I'm being impatient today, I'm just going to go ahead and click the X and I can add it later. Now, since choosing the advertise listing goal, you'll see that KWLS 2.0 has slid out from the right-hand side, so I can go ahead and choose my listing. So I'm just going to use this, save myself some clicks later, and find my listing. So I'm going to type in the address here. You can also search by MLS number or listing agent by toggling the different choices in this drop-down box. And once you're typed in, click search. Now, I will also say you may need to change the status to all and show to all. If KWLS 2.0 doesn't have your listing under the only my listings, check it in all listings first. If you would like it to be shown in only my listings, feel free to contact KW support and they'll be able to add that over. So I'm just going to choose one here that is just listed. It's probably going to be rare that I'm going to find one. Here's a July. Oh, here's a September. Yep, so I'm going to choose this 123 Main Street. Once you've found your listing, you would click select. You'll see KWLS 2.0 slide back to the right. Yes, this particular property ad will be run in Facebook. Now that KWLS 2.0 has slid back, you can see the campaign editor. You'll see all the steps along the left, just as other applets. And then you'll see the preview on the right. This is generally what the applets will look like. So starting at the top left, you'll see name and goal. You can click to drop it out and expand it. Like I mentioned, here's where you can change the campaign name and the goal. I would highly recommend asking a listing agent if you can run ads for them. You may also have to contact your broker, managing broker, supervising broker, broker of record to make sure that that's allowed in your area. If you do not have any listings yourself, you can go that route. Ask another listing agent if you can create paid ads for them. Share it out to your audience as well, or even, create it on their behalf. And then in the future, so this class is going to be around the goal advertise listing, but I will be doing future classes over different goals like attract buyers, which is kind of the same if you think about it, because advertising this listing, and we'll go more over how, but when a lead clicks learn more, they're going to be wanting to buy the home. So this is kind of like attract buyers as well. Yeah, I'll be doing brand awareness, which is advertising yourself, in 2 months. So actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I will say I have done that goal in the past. So check out our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ScottLeroy Marketing, for previously recorded lead generate with command Facebook ads 101, because I have done a brand awareness previously. And that'll be how to advertise yourself and run a general ad for yourself. Yep. So once these two fields are to your liking, you'll click save. Now you will also notice that you can't change the channels that you're running on. So I chose Facebook because this is a Facebook class. But if you want to add Instagram now, or remove Instagram, or add Twitter, or remove Twitter, you will have to go back and create a new campaign from the start. Yeah, I got to this page by clicking create campaign within campaigns. YouTube address is simply youtube.com/ScottLeroy Marketing. And yes, highly recommend getting the other agents permission to advertise their listing along with your brokers to be sure that that's allowed in your area. And yes, you can choose multiple social media accounts at once. On that last screen, to set up the campaign, you can check off Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever's connected. So yeah, after clicking create campaign, you want to enter those 3 fields on that pop-up to be able to get to this page. Yeah, check out designs to find different holiday greetings and real estate pictures you can use to create other types of paid ads. So the pop-up will come up after you click create campaign. So now that these two fields are good to go, I'm going to click save. And this second section here where it says change listing, this is where I can click if I accidentally closed KWLS 2.0 at the very beginning. This is where I can have that slide back out and choose my property again. The third section is text. So I'm going to click to open. You can also click that configure button. Now, the great thing about adding your listing via KWLS 2.0 is that the main copy pulls in from the listing. So saves you even more time with this. You can also see this on the preview, but I think it's really cool to see it here in the steps. So you don't have to fill in this field. It's already over here for you. I will also say you can add emojis by clicking this little light gray smiley face in the bottom right corner of this field. Be sure to stay within the character limit of 250. You also want to make sure that this text looks good in your preview. I will also suggest toggling over to the mobile version as well, so that you can see, oh, this has the ellipses on it. So I may want to reduce the text even further. Oh, let me remove this piece too. There it goes. So that you don't see that ... Oh, if you're seeing schedule post or save draft, you're in the same screen as I am. Oh, but schedule post is, you clicked social post instead of social ad. Next field is headline, also required, designated by this little red asterisk. So you'll want to enter your headline here. Something like just listed, address. Yes, social posts are free and paid ads or social ads cost money. Again, you want to make sure the character count is under the max. And you also want to be checking your preview because you will see that this has an ellipses as well on both mobile and web feed. This class is going over paid ads or social ads, not social posts. Feel free to check out our YouTube channel for our tip videos on how to do those. Next field is description. Again, red asterisk is required. You will see that it does already have some gray text in here. This is one of the suggestions. So you can shuffle through all of the suggestions, and there's only 3, by clicking this shuffle in blue at the top right of this field. So you can do either schedule a private tour with me today, view photos and videos of this home. You could be coming home to this. So pick whichever one you want and click use suggestion. You can also type in here. So whatever description you want. That's why this is sort of grayed out. So either type in or use suggestion to apply that to your campaign. The benefit of doing a paid ad on command versus directly on Facebook is with the connection with Facebook and command, Keller Williams ads are given a little bit higher priority, so your money goes a little bit further. It makes it more cost effective by furthering your reach. Gives you a little better price on it. And of course, Command as a platform, you can do everything through Command instead of going to different third-party sites. Paid ad versus social posts, they're two different things. Paid ads are shown on others' news feeds, and social posts are shown on your business page's timeline. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. Social posts, just kind of sharing to whoever likes your page or follows your page, but paid ads will go to people whether they want it to or not, and then they can click for more info. Last but not least, on this description field, you can also add emojis with this little smiley face at the bottom right. Again, pay attention to the character limit. And to note, the description may not show in all instances of your ad. Facebook will dynamically show the description based on their algorithm to improve performance of the ad. Yeah, paid post is also called social ad, paid. So when you click create campaign, you'll want to choose that tile on the top left. Once you're done with this section, click save to collapse that and go to the next. Click anywhere in that section or configure to drop that down. Another great reason to choose your listing is the picture already comes in. So I'm going to leave this picture here. The next field is DBA logo. Now it is required. It does have that red asterisk. So if you need to add your Market Center logo, you can do so by clicking this blue link to go to KW Connect. You can also upload from your computer by clicking the dashed box. So let me go find mine real quick. Now I want this one. And let it upload. Perfect. If you accidentally upload the wrong one, you can click the X to remove. You'll then want to choose your DBA logo position. It's going to default to right, but I always suggest clicking left. And you'll see it show up on your ad because my Keller Williams logo, Market Center logo, is left aligned. So I like it being on the left. And then check include my ownership statement if that applies in your area. Be sure to check with your broker, supervising broker, managing broker, broker of record to see what they require here. And once you have that all good to go, again, paying attention to the character limit, click apply. And then once this section's done, click save. Now you are seeing that once we get done with this section, there are green check marks over on the left-hand side. That's the goal, to get all green check marks. So we're just going through step by step, making sure all of the fields are filled in. So next is Facebook settings. You'll see your account and page. So my account's the only account on my command. So it's going to be by default, but you can drop down to select another. You would then want to select your page. I only have one, but if you had more than one, you would choose whatever page. If you're seeing some text here, like it looks like you don't have a page created yet, that's because since you have connected your Facebook, there's been an update to command. So you'll want to go into the settings, like mentioned at the beginning of class, to manage your Facebook Ads Manager and drop down your account to select your pages again. Now, for destination, we highly recommend, we being SLM and Keller Williams, the Facebook lead generation form. The whole purpose of this class and generally creating any paid ad is to collect leads. By having this selected, when someone, a consumer, clicks learn more, they're going to be given the Facebook lead generation form. That is simply first name, last name, email address, and phone number, and it's going to feed automatically to your command. If you were to choose site or landing page, you can by all means, but you'll be relying on whatever site or landing page you use and their lead generation collection. And it will not feed to your command automatically. So highly recommend leaving this Facebook lead gen form selected. And upon selecting it, you'll see the little calculating wheel here. This is where you can see the Facebook lead ad terms pop up if this is your first paid ad. If you don't see it pop up, it may be behind your window. You may want to go down to the bottom and see if you can see it there. You may also have pop-ups disabled. Different browsers have them in different locations. But that's why I always recommend just clicking that link within that KW support article to view the terms and accept them prior to creating an ad. Next, you'll choose your button label. So you'll see this field is also required. It's going to be defaulted to learn more, but you can, and while I'm talking, I'm going to refresh this page. You can change it to one of three options, either learn more, sign up, or apply now. It's going to make me start all this over. Apologies. Let me go back in. Now, of course, this won't be perfect. Saving time. I think I was on page 2. 2020, there it is. One more moment. Okay, and we were on Facebook settings. Button labels, learn more, sign up, or apply now. So since this is an advertised listing, I'm just going to leave it as learn more. That fits the best. Now for the website URL, I highly recommend, especially for this version of a paid ad, to go to your command, your Keller Williams command website. It's the one that ends in .kw.com. And then right on the home page, searching for that listing. East Worcester, New York. I apologize about my spelling. Looks right. So once you search for that listing, you'll be able to find it on this map. Mine's just a test listing, so it's not going to show up here. But pretend that it did. You'll want to click on the listing. That'll open up in a new tab. And then you'll want to copy this URL. If you simply click, it'll highlight all. And then right click, copy. Again, that was just a click to highlight all. Right click, copy. And you can paste that URL back in your campaign. So I'm going to highlight the previously input text because my URL already has it there. If you're getting an error, the most common reason why is that that's duplicated. So once it calculates and processes, you'll get a little green check mark. Now, the reason I suggest going to your KW command website, and this website is where the consumer will be taken after they click that button, is because it'll go to your website, more information about this listing, be branded to you, where they can then log in or sign up if they've never logged in before. See all of this information branded to you so they can directly contact you. They can even fill in an interested let's talk form down at the bottom, see your contact information. So highly recommend using the listing from your website. But if not, you can always use a landing page as well. So landing page is an option in the consumer applet. Instead of being a page on your website, it's its own standalone page out there on the internet. So if you have like an open house sign-in landing page or have already created a landing page specifically for this listing, like if you have already advertised it on your Facebook, maybe to your Facebook friends, you can choose that landing page again here so that that's where the consumers are directed when they click that button. Last section in this step is the audience. So this is where you're going to define who should see your ad. Your audience is automatically set, but can be customized. It's automatically set at the location of the listing you previously chose with a radius of 20 miles. You can toggle on to use custom settings or just leave them as they are by default. The first section you'll see here is an option to choose either target my database or target a custom audience. I would recommend leaving target a custom audience because the whole point of a paid ad and this class is to generate leads. So I'm not going to get leads from my database. I'm going to get leads from a custom audience. So you would choose your location, both country and city. Radius, you can increase or decrease using these plus or minus toggles. I will say that the minimum radius in miles is 15. So you can't go below that. But the wider your spread, the more people you may reach. Now with expert targeting, this piece is optional, but you can add interests here and expand your audience to include more people. So by doing that, you would click add interests. Oh no. So while I fix this, let me give you some of the interests that we suggest. Things like homes, houses, real estate, luxury, different divisions, luxury, commercial, farm and ranch, land, lot, vacant, um, different websites people may have interest in, like Zillow or Realtor or Trulia. Specifically on those three, be sure not to choose the pro version because then you're only going to be showing your ad to agents. You want just the regular version. Different types of houses like resale or investing, investor, so different forms of the words as well. House hunting, lots and lots of different options. First time home buyer, even like home redecorating or oh my gosh, what is it called? Now I can't even think of the word. But those interests are what a person adds to their Facebook settings when they first create their Facebook. So you can add what movies you like, what music you like, and what you're interested in. So even like golf courses or houses on golf courses, I mean, sky's the limit on these interests to add. And you would simply do so by clicking the little check marks next to the interests. Quick questions. How much do Facebook ads cost? We will be going over that in the next section. You can set how much they cost. Darn, and this is really not liking me today. Okay, let's try it in Chrome this time. Apologies here while I get signed in. The next step to that section, and I won't show you mainly while I get back into this campaign, but it's also a little bit counterintuitive. So the next section of that custom narrowing audience is to narrow it down. And really, I mean, your whole goal is to expand your reach and in your audience. Another reason why I don't recommend it is because it is narrowing, very, very narrowing. So you just added all these interests like, redecorating, investing, farm and ranch. And yet what narrow your audience will do is add other interests, like let's say golf course. So they have an interest of farm and ranch and they have an interest of golf course. If you narrow it down, so I'm not going to click that again, but after you have some interests added, there will be a second section pop up here to narrow the audience. And what that will do is it'll run the ad to people who have the first interest and the second interest. So what are the chances that a person has both of those interests on their account? You're wanting to keep it as broad as possible. I mean, narrowing it down to people who do have those interests for sure, but you don't want to make it a either or situation. Like you just want to have it all inclusive and not narrowing it down even more. I will also say when choosing these interests in here, there will be an audience estimate. That estimate is a global number. So don't think that your ad is going to reach 58 million people. That's how many people have that interest globally. So pay attention, but don't pay attention to that number. Once you have that section up to date, click save and go to your next section. I don't even think it's going to let me save. Yep. But that's okay. Go to the next section, which is lead settings. This is a recent addition. So if you haven't created a paid ad in a long, long time, this section will be new to you, but it's probably my favorite. This is asking, what do you want to happen to leads that come from this campaign? Do you want to auto tag and or assign to smart plans? Yes, if you just add interest but not click narrow, you will be good. Exactly. So with auto tag, any lead that clicks this learn more and submits their info and will come into your command, into the contacts applet specifically, will be auto tagged or can be auto tagged if you so choose with a tag that you set. My recommendation is something like your campaign name, with that naming convention I recommended, JL123 Main Street, Facebook, or FB for Facebook. So you can select from your list of tags here, like I already have these created. You can also just start typing. And if it's not a choice in your tag collection already, you can simply click create new tag, choose your color, and click add. Again, the X's will delete or remove if you need it to. And assign smart plans is similar. It's going to automatically assign any leads that come in to a smart plan. Now, unlike the add a tag, you can't create a smart plan from here. You do already have to have it created. But that's a real quick couple of clicks in smart plans. But if you want to set them up on something like the monthly neighborhood nurture or even biweekly neighborhood nurture, highly recommend to start getting in front of them and start branding yourself and, contacting them since they came in interested in this property. Once you have this section done, click save to collapse that, and then click duration and budget. Now, by default, it will have some metrics already put in. That's why you'll see the green check mark. But both SLM and Keller Williams recommend a 10-day campaign and a budget of $1 per channel per day. Now, note that ads may take up to 24 hours to be reviewed by Facebook before becoming active. So what I would recommend is pushing the start date out a bit. But you can choose the date by clicking the little calendar icon, choosing the date, doing the same for the end date. By default, your duration is 10 days, so it's automatically going to change the end date for you, but you can manually change that as well. And it's going to auto update the duration for you. Now, total campaign budget. You're going to see the metrics down here. So I only have one channel because I only chose Facebook. But if I were to have Instagram and or Twitter, I would see my multiple channels here. I'm at 12 days duration. And if I leave it at 30, that means that per day, it's going to spend $250. So if I increase this even $5, you'll see my daily per channel, so per Facebook, is raises to $2.92. Also on this note, since the recommendation is $1 per channel per day, if you go below that, so 12 days, so $12, I'm at $1 here, you won't be able to publish your ad. So that is the minimum requirement, is at least $1 per day per channel. But of course, if you want to reach more people, you can increase the dollar amount. The more you spend, the more people it reaches. And yes, $1 per channel per day is the recommendation of a campaign and its budget. So once you're satisfied with how much you want to spend totally and how much per channel you want to spend, click save. Unfortunately, I do not have any idea how many people $1 per day would reach. It depends on a lot of different things. Your Facebook settings, like the interests that you added, who Facebook sends it to. I mean, totally up to Facebook. So once you have all of these steps green and your preview looks good to go, again, you want to make sure to toggle between web feed and mobile to make sure it all looks good on both. You can either click Save Draft if you want to come back tomorrow with fresh eyes and review it one more time before publishing, or click Publish Campaign. Yes, that is correct. You would not be able to move forward without an address. So you would have to go back to that step and add an address. So I'm just going to simply exit out of this campaign since I didn't re-add any of that information. With going back though, it will prompt you. Are you sure you want to leave this page? Your campaign will not be saved. I know that, yes, but you'll want to make sure that that's really what you want to do, because it will discard this campaign. But once you either save draft or schedule campaign, you'll be brought to the paid ads dashboard. So that's what you'll see when you click the paid ads tab. You'll see a bunch of metrics at the top, all your paid ads or your single paid ad, if this is your first one. Little preview, the status. Here's where you can see that failed that someone mentioned earlier. And where you can hover over to see the reason why it failed. Duration, CPM, CPC, CPLC, how much you spent. Let me show you an example of a multi-channel. So this one I chose Instagram as well. You can drop down to see both, and it'll have the metrics split out between each. Your goal. And then over here on the right-hand side, the 3 dots is where you can edit, duplicate, archive, even pause campaign once it's active. And then if you ever want to know what any of these columns mean, not only like what the acronyms mean, but what the columns actually mean, click this little eye in a circle at the top, well, not really top, but middle right of the screen, and it'll have a dictionary. So you'll see dates, what it means. What I'll show you today is CPM, cost per milli, or cost per 1,000 impressions. It's a common metric used by the online ad industry to gauge the cost effectiveness of an advertising campaign. It's often used to compare performances between different ad publishers and campaigns. It's calculated by taking the total amount spent divided by the number of impressions, so how many people it reaches, and multiplied by 1,000. CPC is cost per click or cost per link click, how much each link costs you. So it takes the total amount divided by number of link clicks. And last but not least is CPLC, cost per lead captured. Pretty simple. This is taking the total amount spent divided by the number of leads captured. Again, you can find this dictionary in this little I in a circle on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, a few other notes. Once an ad is live, you cannot edit, unlike Facebook. So the best solution is to pause the campaign, then duplicate, then run. You will get a refund of that original ad as soon as the duration is complete. Whenever you launch an ad, the budget that you select is only for this ad only, unlike Facebook, where you can share it between multiple. If an ad does fail, your funds will be re-released to you, so don't worry, you'll always get your money back. And last but not least, if you do run an ad, it's active, and you do have leads starting to come in, you can click them under the CPLC to be routed to, let me see if it'll pull up a new tab. You'll be routed to your contacts to the, yeah, it's not gonna show me the exact screen because I don't have any, but it'll show you all of the leads that have come in from your Facebook ad. Can you just do a Facebook ad about any property in Frisco or a lien to, or any city to attract buyers? Yes, if you get permission from the listing agent. So check with the listing agent and your broker. If you don't have any listings yet, you again can ask another listing agent for permission to advertise their listing, and broker, of course. But if not, then you would choose a different goal and not choose advertise listing. To change the daily purchase amount, you would click the little minus arrow or minus button to decrease that from 3 to 1. Yeah, if you're doing, no particular property, then you can choose a different goal. But yeah, you can make a paid ad for lots of different things. No, you wouldn't ask for permission through command. You would have to reach out to that listing agent to ask for permission. None of those options are in command. And this particular paid ad just had to have a listing because that was the goal I chose, was advertise listing. And it was just asking which listing. But that is it for today's class. Of course, if you think of any questions later on related to this or not, feel free to contact us. Let me head back over to my Firefox. Here's our website. Down at the very bottom is our contact information. And here is our YouTube channel as well. As soon as Zoom compiles all of the video and it gets uploaded to YouTube. Will take a few hours. You'll see it pop up right here under the uploads on our homepage and also slmtraining.com. So again, if I didn't answer your question today or you think of a question later, feel free to contact us. And thank you for joining and hope you have a wonderful day.